This NFL coaching props and Dick Vermeil edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by MyBookie.ag. Use the promo code SGP for up to $1,000 in bonus bets. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code SGP to play, win, and get paid. We're also teaming up with All Things Comedy to run back the 2019 NFL playoffs via Madden Sims and giving away $10,000 in MyBookie credits. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/ATC for all the info. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/ATC. We're also brought to you by Ace Per Head. Ace is the leader in pay per head providers, and they make it super easy to start your own sportsbook. Plus, Ace is offering up to 6 weeks free over at aceperhead.com/SGP. That's aceperhead.com/SGP. Finally, we're brought to you by Cushy Dreams. Cushy Dreams is a new company with a full line of premium smokable CBD. Now shipping legally to all 50 states. And if you use the promo code SGP, you get 15% off. That's KUSHYdreams.com, promo code SGP.
Hey everybody, Jim McMahon here, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration. Over.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man. San Diego Superchargers.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer.
Salutations.
What's happening, Kramer dog?
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day. Set my out of office.
Yeah, about to head off the grid.
I punched the proverbial clock. I said, you know what's funny? The funny, I know we have a guest, but he's gonna have to wait for a second. The funny thing about times like this now is people are like congratulating other people for going on vacation, like for having the courage to take time away from the screen, to take time away from being plugged in. And on that note, speaking of computers,
this man is a human computer.
Sorry about that.
Joining us, Colby Dant, aka the Dantabase. What's happening, Colby?
Yeah, you guys can applaud me for. I just got back from Palm Springs, went out there, 120 degrees.
Why would you go to Palm Springs in July? You're a maniac, Colby.
Just to see if I can cut it. You know what I mean?
I feel like we were just having this conversation.
Yeah, because I had
about
a buddy,
someone else.
I had a buddy who was like, "Yeah, we're going camping." I'm like, "Okay, where are you going?" Palm Springs. It's like, why? But is it? Are you trying to kill yourself? I mean, as a white person, my greatest fear is dehydration. Are you going to put me out in Palm Springs? I'm fucking Irish.
Right.
I'm just going to roast out
the
there.
The pool scene is good because no one's there.
You were at a hotel.
Yeah, I stayed at the at the Hyatt.
Here's what I'll say about the beauty.
Still.
Southern California, we have the beauty of different types of camping. In the winter, you camp in the desert.
Yeah.
In the summer,
I
you
agree.
camp by the beach.
Look, I agree. You're not going to catch me camping in 120 degrees, but I just went out there to get away. You know, it's like a bomb went off in that fucking town. So you can just go to the beach.
Well,
I mean, not the beach, the pool. Yeah.
God willing, I will be set up on a beach for the next 4 days. No one will hear from me, and perhaps the worst will happen. I'll get stuck there for eternity.
Maybe fingers crossed we'll get another Instagram post from Kramer.
Maybe two.
Maybe he'll run into Andrew Luck.
Oh
yeah, I don't know if his backpacking trip included Catalina Island, but maybe he has to come back from Europe. He's probably holed up in some hostel. He probably actually got COVID because sharing all those common surfaces with the other backpackers. His dad, he's hanging out with his dad. They're suing Vince McMahon for his salary.
Quick anecdote. So we're loading up, getting some MGs for the trip. Allegedly, I'm going to be bringing some. I guess they're legal now for medicinal purposes or recreational.
On the island, you better check, man.
Anyway, get there and I go to a small shop, legit shop, but small shop. And the first time I've ever gotten there, there's a line, and there's your classic run of the mill like Tahunga dude who's just hanging out up in Sunland, hanging out in the couch, taking up the whole couch, not wearing a mask, wearing a t-shirt about 4 sizes too small. So you don't just see belly button imprint, you see the whole thing. You see the whole cavern. He's wearing shorts about 4 sizes too small, and he's wearing some sweet old like hippie sandals, not Birkenstocks, but something else. He looks at everyone who's got a mask on. Everyone's being very orderly. He goes, "Wow, this is a tight room. You know, cannabis cures COVID." Oh man, and just like real gross human.
Did you tip him your 20%?
I didn't. No, I didn't tip him. I will say this: I didn't even tip the lady inside. I typically do, as you know. I'm a generous man.
Tough times.
When I go to the shop, all right. So here's the thing. First of all, if you're gonna make a policy of hiring hot chicks, that's fine by me. But make sure they know a little bit about the product. If I'm going in there asking what kind of new heavy hitting indica you got,
you're one of the guys that you go to Hooters with, and he's like, "So what's in your barbecue chicken sandwich?"
Yeah. Do you brine the wings before you put them in the fryer?
Okay. Well, run of the mill shit wings is a little bit different than adult cannabis, Sean. Listen, I know I have to get something to pair with my Cushy Dreams CBD.
Yes, there you go.
But yeah, so I've had some adventures this week.
Well, one of your adventures, Kramer. This is we're gonna throw out a couple NFL coaching props and then kick it to our boy, new friend of the program, legendary coach Dick Vermeil. And we didn't know if this interview would ever see light because we recorded the interview, and then when we go to post it, Kramer's like, "Oh shit, something happened with the computer." Colby, look, I've never seen him this close to actually crying, but he was devastated that the Dick Vermeil episode would not see the light of day. But Kramer dug deep, figured it out, recovered the audio. So the gem that is the Dick Vermeil interview. It's only 10 minutes. Dick has a very tight schedule. We were able to squeeze him in. And it was a really fun interview. Crowbarred a bunch of Eagles stuff in there, of course, and yeah, we didn't get him to cry, but Colby almost the irony. Colby almost cried about the Dick Vermeil interview.
You went for emotional. I was going to say it was the most serious I ever saw Colby after when he thought the audio so serious. Like I've never seen Colby jump into action so quick. Right, the first move is both Sean and Colby Googling ways to recover the audio.
Well, it's bad if you're taking advice from me from the internet.
I've never. Well, and then you enter that emotional like element of like, all right, listen, fucktards. I'm aware of this. Thank you. I'm gonna go back to my PhD level reading over here. But yeah, no, it was. We got it back. That's all that matters.
We got it back. That's all that matters. So stay tuned. That's gonna be after we get through some of these fun coaching bets over at mybookie.ag. Mybookie.ag, of course, the presenting sponsor of the podcast, Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Use that promo code SGP where you can play, win, and get paid up to $1,000 in bonus bets.
Oh my God!
And even more importantly, they are the exclusive partner for all our sim broadcasts. Doing the Madden Sims, we're doing that a tournament with all things comedy where we're giving away $10,000 in mybookie.ag credits. We have 2 more days left. July 24th, we're doing finishing up the divisional round, and then July 25th, Championship Saturday, where we have 3 games back to back, and we're gonna have the AFC, NFC Championship, and Super Bowl, and we're gonna work on getting you guys some Super Bowl squares because we know you are.
#Legends only.
But again, mybookie.ag, promo code SGP. Kramer, before we get into some coaching prop bets that my bookie has up, Dak Prescott.
Oh no.
It's Rain. I keep calling him Dakota Rain, but really his first name is Rain. Rayne. Rain Dakota turned down the Dallas Cowboys contract offer, which included they didn't have the exact numbers, but looking at $35 million per year with $100 million guaranteed. Now he's going to play on the franchise tag for $31 million. It's insane. The Cowboys, to their credit, as much as it pains me to say this, they've actually done a really good job drafting some players, but they've done a horrible job with coaching and a horrible job managing the cap and this Dak deal. Like, I mean, obviously I'm a homer on it, but the Wentz deal, looks like a goddamn steal right now because of how much Jared Goff got paid. Of course, he's not in. Mahomes reset the market, but when you see the Watson deal, the Dak deal, it's gonna get insane.
I think Wentz is right where he should be in the Ryan Tannehill tier. Right?
Oh my God, how dare you?
I'm
Ryan?
sorry, the Tannehill tier.
There we go.
What's your thoughts on the Reigns turning down 100 million guaranteed?
From the perspective of the player, I like it. He's betting on himself. Why not?
It's a little bit of an onions play. It's like what Kirk Cousins did. As much as we give Kirk Cousins shit, he played on that franchise tag back-to-back years,
it worked out.
Then got paid.
I mean, think about it. Quarterbacks are protected. I mean, he's taking a risk, sure, because anytime you step on the football field, there's a chance you get hurt. But he's taking a pretty calculated risk to, in 12 months, be talking about a massive deal with already $30-something million in his pocket. So, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, he's definitely doing the right thing, and the team's probably doing the right thing too. As strange as that is, because will the market get better for Dak?
Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, for sure. If he has a year,
here's why it's bad. They just brought in an offensive guru, and this is where the strategy of what the Cowboys are up to doesn't make sense. If you're bringing in a guy who's going to materially impact your offense, or so you think, then why are you not locking this guy up?
Maybe because you've kind of underachieved with them, man, and then
you've underachieved with Jason Garrett.
But clearly, regardless of where you want to put the blame, the Cowboys think it was Jason Garrett's fault. The fact that they're offering him 100 million guaranteed, to me, I don't know. You just have to get this deal done. They should have got it done last year, and now you're just going to keep kicking it down the can, and they're really going to be they're going to really be wrecked.
Let me ask you this though: how much worse is Andy Dalton than Dak Prescott?
It doesn't work like he's worse.
He is worse, but I'm saying if you were to look at that and say how many wins if we start Andy Dalton, do you think we can still make the playoffs?
What's his wins over replacement? And that's an interesting point. I think Andy Dalton may be a little long in the tooth, but if you said to me, would you rather have 100 million guaranteed that you could spend on other players for the next 3 years, or would you end Andy Dalton, or would you rather have Dak? I don't know if Dak justifies the 100 million difference between him and Andy Dalton.
That's what I was getting at. Was like I agree, and I like Dak Prescott. I liked him at Mississippi State, but
Hail State.
Hail State.
State. Fuck Dak.
But I think Andy Dalton, and then obviously I think Dalton might even fit better in the new OC's system. What's his name? From Green Bay.
Fatty McCarthy.
Yeah, McCarthy.
Well, and they kept Kellen Moore. I think Kellen Moore is going to end up calling plays. That is one thing they did right, because it's going to keep some consistency in the offense. But they loaded up. They drafted CeeDee Lamb. Now they're kind of loading up on the offensive side, and they've let a couple of their big name guys go on defense. I think defense is really going to be the problem. For me, what would be the dream scenario is their offense is still pretty good. They end up going 7-9 because their defense is so horrible. Now they're in a position where they have to pay Dak to keep him, and then the salary cap goes down a little bit, and they're really going to be screwed.
What'd they go last year? Was
8-8.
8-8. So I mean, I actually think Andy Dalton can take them to 8-8, if not better.
Yeah, I mean Dalton. I don't know. Dak is better than Dalton.
Yeah,
but by how much?
I agree. Yeah, it's not. But I don't think it's that drastic.
But they're just being idiots about it, because if you have the guy, lock him up as soon as you can, because the quarterback market, it's like real estate market in Manhattan. With the exception of COVID, it doesn't go down. Like, it's just going to keep getting more expensive each year. And when this new CBA hits with the new TV deal, they got to get that thing done.
Yeah, the best time to sign a quarterback was a year ago. Second best time right now. Don't wait on it.
But
Cowboys fucked up. That's cool.
Carson Wentz could be on the market soon, because my guy Jalen Hurts is coming for him.
Oh, see now Sean's going to kick you off the show.
No, I mean, come on, Colby. Jalen Hurts.
I like Carson too, dude. I like both.
Yeah. But the thing is, why? I mean, just spending a second round pick on a backup quarterback, you're never going to win me over that's a good idea. They should have just signed Andy Dalton for $3.5 million.
That's true.
And use the second round pick. Second round pick, you can get a guy like Miles Sanders, Dallas Goedert, a guy who's going to play every fucking snap and actually help you win games.
It depends on what you get for him. We'll see down the line. 5 years from now.
I mean, I agree. I think the second round has been a key. It's a key. A lot of good players come out of the second round,
and you get that extra year on the contract.
The one side of this that I think the reason it's definitely a too cute move is the fact that, like, come on, Like, what are you doing? Like, I think it's hilarious, but what are they what's the plan? I would love to hear someone say what the plan is.
We talking Dallas or Philly right now?
Well, because normally you take that back up and you build his stock up and you trade him for a second rounder because you drafted him in the 4th round. You know what I mean? Like then you're gaining some equity. You're building a guy. I mean that's the Patriots have done this before. Plenty of teams have done this before,
but not drafting the guy in the 2nd round. You're not going to build him up to a 1st round pick.
Christian Hackenberg was a 2nd round pick.
Oh, but the Jets have been so bad in the 2nd round
and
over the past 2 decades.
I would argue that the 2nd round quarterback. We should do a full deep dive, but I dare you to find a 2nd round quarterback.
Lamar Jackson's pretty much right. He was 31st,
first round.
Yeah, but last pick.
But yeah. That's because when you move up into the 1st round, you get that 5th year of control for the team. Yeah, that's why teams want to trade into the back end of the 1st round. So yeah, I dare you to find a 2nd round.
Cousins what 3rd? I think Cousins was 3rd. 4th?
Again, I dare you to find one. I think it's the land of misfit toys when it comes to quarterback.
What about Derek Carr? Was he 2nd?
Are we saying he's bad?
I'm just saying, was he a 2nd rounder?
He might have been a 2nd. Rounder. Fresno State, shout out.
Somebody tweeted out this Josh Dubow. I think he's like the Raiders beat writer. Raiders versus playoff team since John Gruden returned in 2018. 0-14. Ooh. Average score 34-15.
We got to get our shit going mentally.
So I think we're on to something on the Raiders sucking, and maybe they just won some close games.
Mayock better watch out. Personnel problems.
I know. I like Mayock too. We'll see what happens there.
Well, I'll tell you what. Gruden's lasted longer than Mayock. That's for sure.
Well, and that brings us to the next question, where we got some odds up on first coach fired. What do we got here? Okay, Matt Patricia plus 300, Doug Marrone plus 400, Adam Gase 800, Dan Quinn 1,000, Bill O'Brien 1,000, Anthony Lynn 2,500, Matt Nagy 2,500, Zach Taylor plus 3,000, Arians 3,300, Vic Fangio 3,300, Brian Flores 3,300, Zimmer 3,300. I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Well, I mean, I think you can't. The chalk play of Marrone at plus 400 is certainly tempting.
Hold on, let's talk about this. Why would he still be the coach if they're going to fire him?
It's like the Dre Gruden thing, though.
The plan is clearly to suck this year.
Yeah.
Why are you going to fire? Like, if you kept him, like, why not just?
It does seem like their expectations are so low. I can't imagine they would get rid of him. So plus 400, you're right. Matt Patricia plus 300. I still think he's got 1 year left, even though I'm not a fan.
He didn't have his quarterback last year, and I think there could be some excitement to start the year with the Detroit Lions because hey, they have a quarterback that doesn't suck.
Well, same with Marrone, with Minshew Mania taking the nation by storm. I expect the Jaguars to make that wild card spot.
Now, and I mean, Sean, like here's the argument for Patricia. He starts the season against the Bears, and who knows what the Bears will be early in the season.
That's a winnable game
at home. That's a winnable game. They go on the road against the Packers. They always play the Packers tight, and then they go on the road against the Cardinals. This could be a team that could
3-0.
They could be I don't think they're going to be 0-3. They even have the Jags a couple weeks later.
I doubt they're 3-0 too, but they could.
I don't know if I like any of the favorites, to be honest.
I like Gase because it's New York. It's pressure city.
He's fucking weird. I can't imagine he's getting along well with other people in the building.
I mean, I never liked the hire from the start.
Let's talk about this. I know I've touted, hey, the Falcons could be a team that are interesting this year.
I actually think they could be decent this year.
They could. Yeah. They could. There's a lot of reasons why you're like, wow, that offense might be pretty good. But then, Sean.
Yes.
Falcons week 1, Seahawks. We saw Russell Wilson come this close those years
or
ago.
Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
See, I think they can be. They struggle on the road. I feel like Seahawks.
Falcons at Cowboys. Then they have the Bears, Packers.
That is tough.
Four games to open the season. Now we know Quinn. That was a last ditch draft. And if this team comes out and the offense is just a little sluggish and the defense is completely not there again. Why is Dan Quinn not the first guy getting fired?
He was my first pick. Dan Quinn plus 1,000.
I stole your pick. I'm sorry.
10-1. We forget last year at some point he said, "Screw it," and put every coach's name in a hat and assign them to a new position to coach. Like that's something you do like at your last day at Chick-fil-A as a manager, where you're just like, fuck it, put that guy on the fryer. I'm doing the potatoes. Like it's the sign of a desperate man. And you nailed it. Desperate draft indeed. I think there's the only thing that would scare me is that it does seem like Arthur Blank kind of, fancies himself a class act. Maybe he doesn't fire him in the season, and one of these guys will get fired in season. But a 10-1, I'm definitely taking a shot at Dan Quinn.
But just to your point, with Gase, he starts out at Buffalo, then home to the Niners, at the Colts, and then home to the Broncos. They're probably going to be.
Gase is my other one that I like at 800. So those are my two picks: Adam Gase plus 800. Because again, you said it. I think New York, the media, the word is out that Adam Gase sucks. I mean, that Ryan Tannehill contract in and of itself should be an indictment on Adam Gase. And now you have Sam Darnold. I think they're just not going to let them waste another season with Sam Darnold if they don't show some momentum early. Again, I'm still kind of cautiously optimistic on Darnold, so he may end up helping Adam Gase keep his job. But 8-1, I don't mind that. Our boy John Gruden 50-1, and there's no way he gets fired
because his contract is ridiculous, right?
Can I throw one more out there?
Sure.
Matt Nagy. Maybe I just hate the Bears, but I look at this schedule, and I know I just said like they play the Lions and Falcons, so there's a little flip flop in here. But they could definitely start 0-5. My Giants come into town, beat them early in the season.
What's go through the first 5?
Bears at Lions, Bears hosting the Giants, Bears at Falcons, Colts at Bears, Bucks at Bears. They have a. But
I think they'll win too.
Matt Nagy, that one looks pretty good, especially at 26-1.
But no one else is like. If you go down the list, no one else is like in a situation where they're even close to getting fired. Anthony Lynn, is he really a guy that's getting close?
I feel like they always hang on to with the exception of Marty Schottenheimer.
Is Bruce Arians getting fired? I feel like Bruce Arians is quitting before he's getting fired. Zach Taylor.
And the thing with Matt Nagy, the only reason I think he's able to get through the whole season is because of Foles, right? So I imagine they'd actually start Trubisky and then, keep him in there for a little bit. And then he's got the Foles backup plan. Like, okay, we sucked, but it's time to bring in Foles. He relieves Trubisky. I think that buys him some time, but at 26-1, that's certainly in the mix.
Yeah. I just don't get, I don't, Patricia's probably the right answer.
Let me ask you this.
But I don't get the Marone one. I'll be honest. Like, it seems like they're aware they're going to suck. So why fire him right off the bat?
Let me ask you this.
Just creates a weird situation.
Is there any chance, and I don't think this will happen, but I just want to ask you guys this. Cliff Kingsbury, if he starts out 0-5, any chance he gets fired?
No. No.
I think we saw enough out of.
He's had no success anywhere, but no, he won't get fired if he again has no success.
40-1 for Cliff Kingsbury. All right, moving over to the Coach of the Year odds. Of course, I'm gonna go a little chalk here. Put my boy Dougie P in there. 26-1. I think he's never.
You're hilarious.
What? He's never gotten the credit he deserved.
Not this year.
For that run that they had, and he's been in the playoffs 3 years in a row. I think he's still kind of underrated as a coach. You could easily see them building a narrative that the end. And God forbid Wentz gets hurt again. Hurts comes in, he coaches them up. I think there's a scenario, or everything just kind of clicks on the offensive side. They get to 11-12 wins at 26-1. I think I don't know. I think you could do worse as a Coach of the Year. What are you leaning, Kramer?
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little. Is this when has Belichick gotten the Coach of the Year?
I don't know if he's ever gotten it. Has he?
2010. Looks like he won 2007.
When he wins the Super Bowl this year, he will get the Coach of the Year.
But see, that's the thing. They pick it based off the regular season.
He's a guy who, if they're successful, like same reason you like Cam Newton to win the MVP, I guess. Maybe Belichick's a safer bet at 8-1. But why is a guy like Mike Tomlin 27-1? He's getting his quarterback back.
Yeah.
And now people are kind of like, whoa. That dude dealt with a lot with Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell.
I don't have the stats in front of me though, but when's the last time Roethlisberger went and played all 16?
It doesn't matter.
Like it's been a while.
I'm just saying, like from the opportunity perspective, Tomlin being 27-1 seems incorrect.
I like the Frank Wright play.
Yeah, again, he seems 20-1. I know the range is pretty tight here, but You know, are you taking Frank Reich over at 20-1 over Kingsbury and McDermott at 18-1?
You know,
yeah, you are.
Yes.
and as much as I don't like, I think Kingsbury is kind of overrated. I don't mind him though as coach of the year at 18-1 because the media has already made it clear. Cliff's our guy. We love Cliff. But couldn't you, if they
Sexy AF,
if they get to 10-6 and the offense is clicking on, firing on all cylinders, he's one of the guys that's on this list that can, I think, win coach of the year without winning the division. And you can't say that a lot about these other coaches at that same price point.
How did Matt Nagy win coach of the year? That's ridiculous.
Well, because he had Mitch and maybe he deserved it because he had Mitch Trubisky and they got to the playoffs. They won the division that year.
All right. So since Bill Belichick has last won coach of the year, Jim Harbaugh, both Harbaughs have won. Bruce Arians has won twice.
Jesus.
Ron Rivera has won twice.
How did Arians win twice?
Sean McVay, Matt Nagy, and wait for it, Sean, Jason Garrett.
Now go home and get your fucking shot.
So based on that, Kingsbury's definitely going to win, right?
And you know,
I mean, Kingsbury's right there.
And for being a guy that everyone's like, he's one of the greatest coaches, Sean Payton. Last time he won Coach of the Year, 2006.
That's when he had Greg Williams too, right?
Well, it's almost like it's almost.
Speaking of which, Dick Vermeil won in '99. So
it's almost like a. It really is a little bit like a Oscar, where I think they kind of just decide, hey, this is your year. We got to give him one, but then they're not going to give it to you. I think it's crazy that even some of these coaches have won twice.
Dude, how did Belichick not win it the year they went and beat the Rams? You know what I mean? Like where everyone kind of thought they were falling off. And I mean, dude, how many times?
You mean the year that McVay won?
Yeah,
that's true, right?
Well, they love the young guys with the full head of hair, the nice haircut.
I have some trivia for you.
Sure.
The last, so it hasn't. Bill Belichick is the last guy to do it, and Dick Vermeil before that. But can you name another coach who won Coach of the Year and the Super Bowl? It hasn't happened since 2003. I'll tell you that.
Wow.
And Dick Vermeil was the second time in '99. But
I would say
before that, name me one coach.
I'm gonna say Bill Parcells.
Bill Parcells, 1986.
Hell yeah. Whew. Put it on my room.
Before that, Mike Ditka, 1985. Before that, Joe Gibbs, 1982. The NFC East was dominant.
Dude,
no
early
Eagles in
80s
there.
just
And then Bill Walsh and Don Shula. Like we're talking about the great ones. So hilarious that we've gone 17 years without a coach of the year winning the Super Bowl.
Well, Cliff Kingsbury, maybe it's your year, man.
How are you the coach of the year? You don't bring home the trophy.
Well, and the same kind of goes for the MVP. We've seen that a lot. Mahomes, or no, wait, he wasn't MVP the year they won it. Yeah, there really is something about the regular season MVP not being able to convert to win the Super Bowl. And
that almost is more. That makes more sense to me because like you could be a super valuable player on a team that isn't necessarily the best team.
Yeah,
but to be the best coach, like everyone in the NFL has talented players. It means you're doing the best coaching job, which means you're elevating those players the most. I don't know.
Hasn't Belichick won like the AFC East like 18 of 19 years or something?
Years in the playoffs.
Like, how are you not a coach of the year more often?
He's missed the playoff once since he last got coach of the year.
And they were still 10-6 or 11-5 or something. And Brady was out for the year.
Both Harbaughs won.
That's unbelievable.
Jason Garrett won.
Absolutely unbelievable.
And just one more point on that: winning the MVP and not winning the Super Bowl. Cam Newton, 2015, of course, got to the Super Bowl, lost to the Broncos, got their ass kicked. 2016, Matty Ice wins the MVP. Of course, loses in a dramatic fashion in the Super Bowl. 2017, you know who wins the MVP? Tom Brady. You know who loses the Super Bowl? Tom Brady. So. And,
there you go.
And I've actually used that as kind of like a backup in my head of if I'm on the fence for the Super Bowl bet. Hey, who they have the MVP? Fade them.
Fade the MVP.
Yeah, you got to fade the hardware. And last thing I'll throw out there, talking about other great coaches, Andy Reid. Last time he won Coach of the Year, 2002 Philadelphia Eagles.
That's ridiculous. What he did with Kansas City, they were horrible. There wasn't a Herm Edwards before.
The
him?
fact that
he should have got one for at least one of those Alex Smith years.
Yeah.
The fact that anyway, let's move on.
All right, let's. Feels like we got a bunch of stuff in there, and feels like a good time to kick it over to our boy Dick Vermeil. Before we do that, Want to give a shout out to Ace Per Head. Thinking about starting your own sports book? Well, you can. Ace Per Head makes it super easy to start your own online sports book. Very easy to do. Don't have to be a computer whiz like Colby. You can just sign up. They get the website going for you. They give you access to the online sports book. Next thing you know, you're booking online sports action. And of course, if you use our link, aceperhead.com/SGP, you can get up to 6 weeks free. aceperhead.com/SGP. Joining us on the line, legendary head coach Dick Vermeil. Dick, appreciate the time. How you doing these days?
I'm doing pretty good for an old man. Thank you.
Staying active even during these weird times. Getting out there, getting some exercise.
I've never had more free time to be active and doing things I should have done 10 years ago. So I'm doing fine. Yeah.
Playing a little catch up. I know it's a great reason to get back, start exercising. You're one of the, I looked this up. You're the only coach who's gotten coach of the year at the high school, junior college, NCAA Division I, and NFL coach of the year in all 4 of those levels of coaching. Which one of those areas was kind of the most enjoyable as a coach?
Well, they're all enjoyable. You know, I think as your responsibilities grow, the pressures get greater and the salaries get better and the players get bigger and faster. But I'd say if I had to do all over again, I'd just soon start in pro football. It's because it's all football. It's all football, you know? So that's what I love the most about it. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and going back to pro football, of course, that magical 1999 season, you got the Rams, St. Louis Rams, 99 season. You guys were 150-1 to win the Super Bowl. Starting quarterback Trent Green goes down in the preseason with a season-ending injury. When you saw him, or after the game, when you realized his season was done, how confident were you that the team could get past that?
Well, I would be a liar if I said I was confident. I knew we were good football team, and I thought we could continue to be a good football team with Kurt Warner. But you know, even with Trent, I didn't have the thought, oh boy, we're going to be a Super Bowl team. I just thought we would be a playoff team. And then when we lost Trent, I really felt that we would play well and we would be a good football team. But I was unsure.
Yeah, and the story of Kurt Warner, for like the younger kids listening to the show that they're not familiar, he really kind of came out of nowhere. There's the tale that he was just bagging groceries, making $5.50 an hour. Then he got into the Arena League, NFL Europe, then made it on the Rams team. Only threw 11 passes the year before coming into 99, and then going on that epic run. When you're in a grocery store these days, does a bag boy ever try to like give you some game film?
That's a good question. You know, that's what you're talking about, though, is a true story. He was working part-time bagging groceries. He was also, you know, playing in the Arena League at that same time, you know, so he didn't have much money, and that was a way to supplement income. But that's all part of his heritage, you know, and that's why it was such a unique accomplishment. I don't think it had ever been done before, and I don't think it'll ever be done again.
Yeah, I mean, the odds are certainly stacked against it. And you've been involved. I mean, not only the Kurt Warner story, but of course, if people remember the movie Invincible, you were the coach who coached Vince Papale. Again, kind of a out of nowhere story. He of course made the Philadelphia Eagles when he was 30 years old, kind of coming at it, you know, really just off the street free agent. What was that like signing him and then seeing Greg Kinnear play you in the movie?
Well, you know, I just saw Vince yesterday. He's got gray hair now, but anyway, you know, we didn't have any draft choices that first year at the Eagles, or the second year really, or third year. But anyway, we needed bodies in training camp, so we have the free agent camp, and lo and behold, we get about 125 people show up, and he's the best athlete in the camp. Now, he hadn't played college football, played high school ball, and he played semi-pro ball. They called, what was the Philadelphia Stars or something like, some name. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, he was impressive. He was the fastest guy there. You could see he's an athlete. He could catch the ball. And, when he was a Philadelphia kid, so I thought it would be good if he did make it. It'd be great. It'd be great for morale, and for South Philadelphia Italians, they'd be excited. And he ended up exceeding all expectations. Of course, the reason they made a movie out of it is NFL Films did a special on the oldest rookie to ever make an NFL football team, and that happened to be Vince Papale. It was like one of those 30-minute scenarios, and the people at Disney saw it, and they said, "My God, that'd make a great story." So they wrote a story. They wrote the book. Okay, they had me read the book, and I told them, I said, "Guys, there's a lot of things in here you're writing about that's not true." They said, "Well, we're not doing a documentary. We're just telling the story."
They got that's classic Hollywood, right? They got to make it a little more interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But anyway, the story was true, and they did it, and the movie went way. I think the movie has gone way beyond their expectations. Vince told me they've grossed over $800 million with that movie. So,
wow.
It, on and on and on and on and on. And people still buy it and look at it with their grandkids and everything, because it's a good, warm story, and it's a true story. Facts aren't all true, but that doesn't change the story. But, it was exciting to see a young kid do that. And we have remained friends ever since, really.
Yeah.
And Greg Kinnear played me. I never went to one shooting. Our oldest son, Rick Vermeel, went every day, and he would come home once in a while and say, "Dad, he's got you nailed." And then later that year, he came to training camp because I was coaching the Chiefs now. And he came and spent 2 days with me at training camp, and did a nice job. Really a nice fella. And, he's gone on to make a living, not because of that movie or that role, but he's done quite well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's you got some special coaching mojo, but you oversaw Kurt Warner, his magical story, Vince Papale, his magical story of just making the team as a 30-year-old guy. And I'd be remiss as an Eagles fan not to bring up that you were the coach for the first Miracle in the Meadowlands, the game where it was all but over, and then the crazy fumble return for a touchdown. Walk us through those final seconds when Giants were trying to run the game out just by running the ball. You had to think the game was over, right?
Oh yeah, I thought it was over, and that's a bad feeling. And we weren't a very good football team yet, but we were better. That's our third year in the program, and we were up there where we could maybe get to, that year. I think we're still playing 14 games in fact, or was that the first year we played 16? I don't remember. That's so long ago. But anyway, I'm standing on the sideline. In fact, I'm getting ready to take my headset off. It's starting to feel sorry for myself, and all of a sudden I look up, and they're not punt formation, or they're not a safety formation. They're going to snap the ball. So I watch it. Holy mackerel! The ball ricochets off Zonka's hip, and here comes Herman Edwards, picks it up, runs it in. Couldn't believe it.
Unbelievable. Coach, do you keep in touch with Herm Edwards now? Do you follow his program at Arizona State?
I talked to him Sunday. Yeah, I talked to him Sunday.
Yeah, he's done a great job exceeding my expectations at Arizona State, and there's a lot of reason why there's a lot of belief that they could win the Pac-12 this year. So I'm eager to see him.
They better get to play first.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, but Herman's a great leader and a good coach, and he's doing a fine job. And I've known him since he was a kid. I had him the Eagles in 1977. He came with me to the Eagles, and they played the next 6 years for me, and then went on from there. So yeah, he's a great career, and he replaced me when I retired from the Chiefs. So we've got a path together.
Picked up right where you left off. Coach, appreciate your time. One final question here. You guaranteed the Chiefs victory in the Super Bowl. That, of course, came through. We make a lot of predictions here on the Sports Gambling Podcast. Do you have any sort of predictions, assuming they are able to play the 16 games? Everyone's relatively safe there. Do you have any predictions for this 2020 NFL season?
Well, you know what I do? I'm no genius. I always go with the teams that were great last year. I mean, I always pick the 2 Super Bowl teams last year to come back and do it again, and that's your best bet, but then, like you said, we were 100 and something to won odds of not going to the Super Bowl, and that we went and won it. So you never know. Things change. But I really think the Chiefs will be a great football team. They've got a great quarterback. I think the 49ers will be a hell of a team. I think New England will drop off just a little bit for a while. And there'll be other teams come on. And, Minnesota, these kind of teams will come on. Maybe Tampa Bay. You never know with Brady down there. So there's a lot of different things going on. I kind of believe Dallas will make a run. And the Eagles were in the playoffs last year. And I think they'll be back there again this year.
Well, that's a great prediction. As an Eagles fan, they're going to be in the playoffs, maybe make that magical run again. Coach Vermeel, appreciate the time and have a good day.
All right. Take care, guys. Thank you for the opportunity to say hello. Bye-bye.
One more shout out before we close things out. Of course, want to say what's up to Cushy Dreams, smokable CBD. Maybe we should send Coach Vermeel some smokable CBD.
Hell yeah.
Trade some for some wine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's a wino. But yeah, it's pretty easy. All you got to do, go to cushydreams.com, use the promo code SGP, get up to 15% off. I'm looking at these pre-rolls now. They got all different kinds: dream, relax, create, space, hustle.
Hustle, baby.
Give yourself a little cup of coffee, smoke that hustle CBD. You'll be firing on all cylinders. Go to cushydreams.com, promo code SGP. Really was happy that I got that bag boy line in on the Dick Vermeil interview. I was sitting on that one and felt pretty good to deliver to old Coach Vermeil.
Oh, dude, man. I mean, between that and Papale, this guy's probably.
I was going to say that's a hero of Sean's. He coached the great Vince Papale.
I think he got a little nervous there, right?
Vince Papale was the reason Sean didn't quit football.
That's why I'm still running now. Who knows with these COVID depleted rosters? Maybe they're So
you wait, hold on.
I think I could get a roster. Can we get a special team spot?
Can we get breaking news sound effect?
Sure.
You will scab if needed. You will cross the lines.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Normally I'm pro union, but I'm also pro Philadelphia Eagles. And if for some reason there was a labor dispute that erupts from the testing protocols, whatever it is, I would be willing to represent. I'm not looking to start on the team. That would be a little high, lofty goal, but I think I could be in 3 tight end personnel. I think I could be the 3rd tight end. I'm a guy who's going to know the playbook. I'm going to wrap up on special teams. I'm going to run wedge buster. I know wedges are illegal now, but I'd be willing to wedge bust on the side.
All right. Here's what we need. Any sort of near prospect who recently graduated from college. If you're like a pass rusher who got some sacks, preferably at the D1 level. I need to see Sean lining up against an edge rusher.
I'll get a chip block on him.
Dude, I was about to say, like, I know we're supposed to do this kick in Pullman. But if we were to do this kick around here and you make that 47 yarder, I'm gonna be on your side and saying,
I'm pretty fit right now.
Man.
We need to get this going. We need to get the documentary film crew as we prepare for the combine.
The Pullman is the great place to do it. I know the thin air is probably going to help you a little bit.
I'll take some video of me on my trek training for this kick.
Yeah, bring a football out to Catalina Island. Just start booting it into the ocean.
Your football's gonna be like Wilson and Castaway. You know what I mean?
The plan is to bring a football. I'll say that.
All right. Well, thank you guys as always for tuning in. Make sure you throw us that 5-star review. We got Dick Vermeil on the show. Come on.
Is that our first Super Bowl winning coach?
It is.
Coach of the year.
Coach of the year. Did a lot. And yeah.
Rare.
17-point dog in the Rose Bowl. Upset number 1 Ohio State. Gotta love him for that, guys.
And we kind of hit on it, but I think Dick Vermeil's career, if you just blindly bet Dick Vermeil games and season, that it would probably have to be the biggest payday of all time. I mean, that Rams Super Bowl at like 150 to 1, that one's huge.
Yeah, unbelievable.
But I mean, even that game, they were, I think the year they won it, they were dogs as well. So yeah, I mean,
crazy.
He's a true legend. And yeah, make sure you give us a follow on Twitter at Gambling Podcast. Check us out on the gram. Things are popping off.
And check out Vermeel Wineries. He's got a great winery up in Napa.
Look at you.
You know,
and of course, check out Colby Dant previewing every college football team on the College Football Experience.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
And for the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Enjoy the time, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.